Tonight on News 5 Live, with 3 offshore developments on the table, the Department of the Environment discusses the Port of Belize expansion project, the Angelfish Key development, as well as a pending turnip project. Guatemala submits its memorial to the World Court and the controversy at the company's registry. These stories and more are coming up on News 5 Live.
We have breaking news from Channel 5 on Coney Drive. I repeat, we can confirm that the delivery of this Christmas package is almost complete. The most critical phase is about to commence. That is, getting it delivered in time.
May the gift of peace, the gift of joy, shine bright for you and your loved ones this Christmas and in the new year.
Digi will be giving away over $50,000 in cash and prizes this Christmas. And we want you to help us spread the holiday cheer. This season, every prize winner gets the opportunity to pay it forward to a family or friend. It's easy. You win and you select someone to win the same prize. Now that's exciting. This Christmas, be gifted and pay it forward only with Digi. Season's greetings from our national telecom.
Watch The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. exclusively on Channel 5 Belize. The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Channel 5 Belize.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart. It's that time of the year when all that stands between you and all of this is...
Give me 5. Give me 5.
Give me 5! That's all it takes. Get your coupons at Channel 5 and Coney Drive and Channel 5's website. Then, starting Monday, December 5th, keep those phones close and tune in to Channel 5 at 8 p.m. as we start our nightly giveaways until Friday, December 9th. Remember, when the phone rings, Don't say
Hello.
Say, give me 5.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening. Welcome to News 5 Live for Friday, December 9th. I am Anlina Polonio. Earlier this week, the Department of Environment issued a release on its decision not to approve the Port of Belize Cruise Tourism Facility and Cargo Expansion Project in the Port Loyola area of Belize City. The principals of the proposed development have been informed, and as was confirmed by Chief Environmental Officer Anthony Mai, the developer has 21 days in which it can write the Minister of Sustainable Development, Climate Change and Disaster Risk Management, Orlando Habet, to appeal the decision made by the department. Mai says that despite the cruise tourism plan speaking of the need for docking facilities for bigger ships, given the scope of the project, it was simply too risky to give the green light.
The developer now is informed that collectively these two components, the department has decided not to grant approval for their proposal. The developer again has all the rights to relook at what they want to do. If it is that they are to make a second or next submission, the submission, in my opinion, will have to really consider a reduction in the volumes of dredge spoil that they are proposing. We discussed in the NEAC the fact that, and realized the fact that the expansion of the port is something that is important for the country, but the NEAC felt at this time that the merging with the tourism component, which increases the amount of dredge spoil that will remove, is something that is too risky. And in the NEAC meeting, the Ministry of Tourism was co-opted to the meeting to provide guidance and information as it relates to specifically the question that you just asked and the relevance that this project would have on the tourism sector as a whole. And we haven't heard anything from the investors. We informed the investors in the correspondence that we sent to them that they have a 21-day period within which they could write to the minister responsible for the environment to appeal the decision of the Department of Environment.
The decision by the Department of Environment came on the heels of a meeting held by the National Environmental Appraisal Committee on November 24th. But the Port of Belize project was not the only item that was discussed. On Thursday, DOE also issued a statement on its decision with respect to a tourism project on Angelfish Key, located 10.5 miles east of Hopkins Village within the South Water Key Marine Reserve. Considering the social and economic factors as well as impacts to the environment, NEAC felt that there were numerous issues and recommended that the EIA report be improved and resubmitted to the department. Chief Environmental Officer Anthony Mai says that the developer in this project has already been informed.
Relatively small project located within the South Water Key Marine Reserve. The investors proposed to construct what they refer to as an ecotourism project on 3 small islands. The islands are, in terms of the proposal, will be interlinked through boardwalk, and then there'll be a series of overwater structures that will be built around these 3 islands, including a proposed helipad. The NEAC deliberated on the project on November 24th. The deliberation included the public concerns. It also included the technical review of the EIA report that was submitted for this project. The NEAC recommended to the DOE after the review that the report itself had some technical gaps, and therefore the report needs to be improved from a technical and scientific standpoint, and then resubmitted for them to review again and to make a final determination on the project as it relates to recommendation to the DOE.
The letter was sent to the investor on December 6th. There is no time frame for the resubmission, but there is a list of specific guidelines for the EIA preparers, that is. During the Zoom interview with Chief Environmental Officer Anthony Mai, he said that there are other projects that the department is also reviewing. A project at Turniff, similar to that on Angelfish Key, will be addressed in the next meeting of the National Environmental Appraisal Committee on December 15th.
Next week Thursday, the NIAC will meet again to deliberate on the MDL project, MDL Investment Limited project. Again, it's a relatively small project in Turniff, on the Turniff Atoll. Again, the scope of it is 3 small islands. Each island is about an acre in size. And the concept of it is similar to the one in Angelfish, where the investor is proposing to build overwater structures and then connect these islands through a boardwalk system. And so an EIA report has been submitted. We have held a public consultation on this particular project, and now the NIAC will deliberate on the 15th.
Coming up, media personnel questions new online business registry system. More details when we return.
Hello, friends. This is Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says all hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. The wealth of the wise is their crown, but the folly of fools yields folly. Beverly King, a wealthy businessman, lived in Graham, Texas. He was a stockholder in the local bank and owned a nice hotel there. He was at the local garage in his overalls one day when a man passing through town had car trouble and stopped for help. The mechanic diagnosed the problem and informed the owner that he would have to have the repair parts shipped to him the next morning, but he could fix it and then quickly send him on his way. The man said that would be okay, and turning to Mr. King in his overalls, thinking him to be someone just hanging around the garage, asked if he knew someone to help carry his suitcases to the hotel. Mr. King said, "Yes, I can do that," and reached down and picked up one piece of luggage in each hand. Walking down the street, the man said, "I noticed driving into town this huge, beautiful home on the hill that must be 7,000 to 10,000 feet in size." He then asked, "Who in a small town like this would have the money to own a house like that? Do you know who it belongs to?" Mr. King replied, "Yes, it belongs to me." Being amazed, he asked, "Where in the world did you get the money to own a home like that?" Mr. King replied, "By carrying my own baggage." Hard work brings profit. Who is carrying your baggage? Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Come and see. I need to show you something. A product that is destroying our planet. To make space for it, millions of trees are cut down. To grow it, chemicals poison the land, the soil, the water. To produce it, the air becomes saturated with toxins. And when it's discarded, our environment is polluted in ways that we can't afford. Tobacco costs us more than 8 million lives every year. It also costs us 600 million trees, 200,000 hectares of land, 84 million tons of CO2, 22 billion tons of water. Tobacco is not only poisoning people, it's poisoning our planet.
year, when all that stands between you and all of this is...
Give me 5. Give me 5. Give me 5.
That's all it takes. Get your coupons at Channel 5 and Coney Drive and Channel 5's website. Then, starting Monday, December 5th, keep those phones close and tune in to Channel 5 at 8 p.m. as we start our nightly giveaways until Friday, December 9th. Remember, when the phone rings, don't say
Hello.
Say, give me 5.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
On Thursday, Guatemala submitted its memorial in the territorial, insular, and maritime claim against Belize to the International Court of Justice. Guatemala's Foreign Minister, Mario Adolfo Bucaro Flores, accompanied by an agent as well as a co-agent, presented the reply and its annexes supporting the allegations of facts and law. According to a release issued by the Guatemala's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the country's submission reflects all the factual and legal elements that bolster the Guatemalan claim maintained throughout the dispute and is the result of, quote, a meticulous and professional process by a team made up of experts of the highest reputation and those who represent and defend the Guatemalan interests in international litigation, unquote. Through a procedural order and after consulting the parties on June 24th, the ICJ set the deadlines for the second round of written arguments, establishing December 8th for the presentation of Guatemala's reply, and on June 8, 2023, for the filing of Belize's rejoinder. Tonight, there is controversy surrounding the Belize Companies Act 2022. The Senate voted in favor of the passage of that piece of legislation on June 29th to replace both the International Business Companies Act and the century-old Companies Act. During that debate, Kevin Herrera, senator for the business community, gave his full support for the bill, noting that the act underwent extensive consultations. Sheena Pitts, an opposition senator at the time, supported several aspects of the proposed act. Senator Elena Smith also rose to speak on the bill. Her concerns were in relation to certain positions within the Belize Companies Registry becoming redundant. The bill successfully made it through the Senate. Here is how Eamon Courtney, the Senator for Government Business, explained the benefits of the merger at the time.
This has been an extremely long process. It has been subject to a lot of consultation. The current Companies Act is dated 1914. It is completely out of date. It is over 100 years old, and it does not take account of the points highlighted by Senator Herrera, Kevin Herrera. First of all, modernization in terms of technology, and this bill is intended to take advantage of those modernization features that we have become accustomed to. Secondly, in terms of raising capital, by the bringing of the international business companies and the domestic companies into one type, you can raise capital locally as well as externally in order to make investments in Belize. Thirdly, the whole question of mergers, demergers, liquidations, winding up of companies have been modernized. Fourthly, which is very important. I believe Senator Pitts will know this from her practice. The rights of minority shareholders under the old law as it is right now are very limited. This new legislation will give statutory rights for minority shareholders to ensure that they're treated fairly by majority shareholders. And if they are not being treated fairly and are being prejudiced, they have rights and remedies spelled out in the bill.
On November 28th, the Belize Company Registry and Corporate Affairs Registry launched its online business registry system, a fully online companies registry service legislated by the Companies Act 2022. But members of the press are taking issue with what they assert is a deliberate act to cloak the public registry system with secrecy. Prior to the launch of the online system, journalists were able to visit the Belize Companies Registry office, where they were given access to look up the names of proprietors and shareholders for any local registered business. With the newly launched online system, according to the media personnel we heard from via Zoom on Thursday, access for reporters has been significantly limited. They suspect that this may be the case because the confidentiality associated with IBCs has also been placed on locally registered companies.
This has a most deleterious effect on the practice of good journalism. It has a deleterious effect on the free flow of information. It has a sinister effect on transparency and accountability in public life. To me, it is one of the most retrograde and anti-transparency public maneuvers I've ever seen. I thought that registered agents who pay at least a minimum of $1,500 US, I'll send you all the charges, $1,500 US, but a maximum of $5,000 or $6,000 US. You have to pay in US dollars. And the reason you have to pay in US dollars is because it's an IBC registry. Everything is paid in US dollars. So local attorneys have to pay that amount in US dollars. So I thought that they, because they pay this $5,000 US, would be able to do company searches still. Well, they cannot. They can do a search, and all you get is what is called under the law a short extract. And a short extract will only tell you when the company was formed, and who its registered agent is. It does not tell you the directors, does not tell you the shareholders, it does not give you any useful information. It basically tells you who's the attorney that set up the company.
The way the system is currently working, as Jules has pointed out, is to completely block out the media. Whereas before we could go simply walk into the company's registry in Belmopan. I don't recall having to pay to conduct a search. That was completely free. I had access to all the folders that I could see, whether it was one folder or four for any particular company. We had access to whatever information was in those folders. And that information traces and tracks all the changes in directorship and shareholders. And that information is also necessary for us to know and to be able to have access to. It's not just about who now is the current director. Even now, in talking with the deputy director, he is saying that we can discuss, but it does not appear to me that they are willing, any at all, to consider giving the media access to everything we had before, and I do not think we should settle for any less.
I am not in agreement with this new change at all either. I've spent several hours at the registry, and it was always a free process. You just need to give the name of the company that you want to research, and you find a number, and they get the files for you, and you go through it. And if you get stuck and you find a next company, you go to that one, and you can continue your research for many hours totally free of cost. And I personally think that this new change is really indeed counterproductive to the freedom of information. It makes it very much difficult to research, especially as Jules has been talking about, you know, it makes it easier for corruption to happen. And if we want to be able to research things that are questionable, all of these hoops that we will have to go through and the money now that will be involved, it makes absolutely no sense.
We caught up with Minister of Home Affairs Karim Musa at an event in Belize this morning, where he responded to questions on the restriction being placed on inquiries into the proprietors and shareholders of registered companies. Practicing attorneys use the system almost daily on behalf of their clients to gather information on certain companies. But since Musa is not practicing, he says he is unaware of the level of access being granted. Notwithstanding his lack of knowledge on the new process, Musa is of the view that the same level of access should be granted.
The law firm of Musa and Balaramos did do searches, of course. All law firms in the country do company searches. And so in terms of the new requirements, or rather the new access that will be granted, I am told that it will be the usual information like shareholders, the date of the company formation, things like that. But I think that if there is a necessity for us to allow greater access, because I agree with you, it should be more open and transparent as it has been with local companies, then I think that legislation will have to be looked at again to see how it could be amended to allow for that access, because I don't think that should be the intention, to deprive anyone of access.
How conversant are you with the legislation as it exists?
Yeah, I think that we have to certainly create, like I said, that level of access for you to determine the true beneficial owners of companies. And so, like I said, when we see it being put into practice, if it is that you are not allowed that type of access for you to determine true ownership or beneficial ownership, that is something that we'll have to look at, because like I said, that is something, even in the court system, that it's always asked, who are the true beneficial owners of these companies? And like I said, I think that the legislation would have to be tweaked or amended to allow that type of access.
Musa was also asked if such access would be frowned upon by the IBCs, since both local and international companies are now merged into one system. Here is how he responded.
I can't say that it will necessarily be frowned upon. Like I said, I would have to actually see it being put in place and in practice. It, I'm sure, is similar to other jurisdictions in terms of the type of access. But the intention, like I said, should not be to deprive us of true ownership access. That is something that I think is essential for us to be able to determine, and for members of the public to have that type of information as well.
Sir, did this particular matter come to the cabinet before it was implemented? Because this was launched, the online business registry system was launched on November 28th. So as far as we're aware, it's active and the secrecy is now in place.
Well, like I said, I wouldn't classify it as secrecy the way that you are. Like I said, I'm not in practice, and so I haven't done a company search to see the distinction that is now in existence as it was before. And so you would have to ask an attorney to make that distinction for you, because they're actually practicing to see what the difference is. And like I said, I haven't done it, but I will certainly inquire to see if there's that difference in terms of the type of information that you're getting out.
The Belize Companies and Corporate Affairs Registry issued a late evening release confirming that the regulations for free access of information have changed. The release says that with the amalgamation of the Companies Act and the IBC Act into the New Companies Act 2022, the financial services industry is at the cusp of rebirth and development of a world-class corporate registry backed by modern legislation. The release confirms that there are in fact changes to the regulations for free access of information, but it goes on to say that there are built-in mechanisms that allow limited and extended access to information via lawful channel. In its release, BCCAR goes on to say that the assertions made in the public should be corrected based on facts within the current laws and regulations. BCCAR will hold its official launch ceremony for the online business registry system tonight. On the occasion of the International Anti-Corruption Day, The National Trade Union Congress of Belize, NTUCB, calls for action against corruption. In a press release issued by the union, it underscores that the United Nations General Assembly adopted the United Nations Convention Against Corruption, UNCAC, by resolution on October 31, 2003, and designated today's date as International Anti-Corruption Day. The day is set aside to raise awareness on corruption and of the role the convention plays in combating the scourge. The NTUCB reminded that Belize, under the Barrow administration, signed an instrument of accession submitted to the United Nations Secretary General on November 30, 2016, after the Senate ratified the motion. And on December 9th of that year, as the world observed International Anti-Corruption Day, the government of Belize signed on to the United Nations Convention Against Corruption, UNCAC. And in June of last year, the United Nations General Assembly passed a resolution recommitting the countries of the world to the full implementation of UNCAC and within the shortest time. But after all these formalities, the NTUCB contends that there has been no information shared in Belize on our participation in these UN sessions and how we voted. This is what the NTUCB states in part on the matter in its release, quote, "Today, December 9, 2022, 6 years after signing on to the convention, Belize has not made any major significant moves to fully implement UNCAC. Outstanding is the second cycle review in which Belize will be reviewed on Chapter 2, Preventive Measures, and Chapter 5, Asset Recovery of the Convention. This review was scheduled for 2020, but 2 years hence and nothing new has been learnt," unquote. NTUCB President Luke Martinez calls on the government to take serious action and fully implement the UN Convention by re-establishing the National Steering Committee to oversee the implementation of the convention in Belize.
The government has done several things. The question is, are those actions meaningful? Remember that when they came into office, the first thing they did was sign on to a good governance motion. And what best way to tackle corruption than through good governance, eh? How far are they with those good governance, with the undertakings in that good governance motion? So they're not serious. They'll also say that, look, we've also put together the good governance unit. And the good governance unit will tell you that, oh, we've reviewed the peer review between Haiti and Tuvalu, and there's another peer review pending, but because of COVID this and because of COVID that. Is that reasonable for us? Does that show that we are serious about tackling corruption in this country? And we have to remember now that also, as a nation, we've signed on to the strategic development goals. And that and if we're not able we will not be able to meet those commitments if we can't address corruption in this country.
After the break, U.S. fugitive caught in Key Cocker handed over to U.S. authorities.
Don't know what to get the special someone for Christmas? Habet and Brothers Habet have you covered this Christmas.
Season greetings. Hey, Dad. Remember the shelves you made to tell me about? Yo, Corey. You got anything to make us saw? Hey, guys. Your favorite saw daddy here. Back with a brand new saw from Brothers Habet. My wife got this for me for Christmas. The salmon is here.
All month long, give the gift of power with 15% off all power tools, 15% off all decorative paints, 15% off all sunlight windows and doors, 20% off all mirrors, and 15 to 60% off Westinghouse and Design House light fixtures. Plus, with every $50 you spend, you get a chance to win a $500 gift certificate every day in our big 12 Days of Christmas giveaway. So come in today and save big. A merry and safe Christmas from the family at Habet and Brothers Habet.
Yo, Jamrock, search you anything right now.
Champion Security.
Good day, Belize. Justin Sanders, Senior Technician at Champion Security here. On behalf of myself and the technicians, I would like to say a thank you to all our valued customers for choosing to trust Champion Security for all your security needs. As we approach the end of this year and preparing for the Christmas season, we urge you to make sure that your security systems are working properly. Feel free to contact us at the Office for Preventative Maintenance Servicing, as our well-trained, friendly and dedicated technicians are here to assist you. To our new customers who are planning or in need of assistance with choosing the best and suitable security systems for your needs, do not hesitate to call our office, for we here at Champion Security pride ourselves in the quality work to give you back that peace of mind.
Social Security, transforming service delivery. My Social Security is your secure online account to manage all your Social Security information. My Social Security launched in March 2021 with registration service to apply online for new or replacement Social Security cards. Upgrades to My Social Security continues with a new look, enhanced customer experience, and its newest feature, Sickness Benefit Online application. With My Social Security, you can create your account, log in, and take control of your Social Security information. This includes applying for a new or replacement Social Security card for yourself, child, or dependent. Make appointments online and submit your complete sickness benefit claim package. Our customer care team is here to provide you, our valued customers, with real-time support. Connect with one of our customer care agents through direct messages on WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, or live chat, or follow our YouTube channel for more information, tutorials, and guides. A complete 360 view of your Social Security information is coming soon, which includes a new employer portal for employers, businesses, and self-employed persons, contributions history and statements, all SSB benefits, medical portal for registered doctors, and fingerprint enrollment all in one place. Social Security at your fingertips. The significant enhancement of service delivery to you is here. My Social Security.
It's that time of the year when all that stands between you and all of this is...
Give me five. Give me five. Give me five.
That's all it takes. Get your coupons at Channel 5 and Coney Drive and Channel 5's website. Then, starting Monday, December 5th, keep those phones close and tune in to Channel 5 at 8 p.m. as we start our nightly giveaways until Friday, December 9th. Remember, when the phone rings, don't say
hello.
Say, give me five.
Brandon Hughes and Jose Gomez have been convicted of the murder of businessman Oscar Rosado Sr. The pair appeared before Justice Susan Lam today in the Supreme Court, where she handed down her very first verdict for murder. The incident happened at Rosado's place of business in April 2013, when he was shot and killed during an armed robbery of his construction supplies company. Sentencing for the men has been deferred to December 13, 2022. The trial of Hughes and Gomez began in June and ended in July 2022. The Crown was represented by Senior Crown Counsel Shaniza Smith, who called in 10 witnesses to testify before closing her case. The accused men were represented by attorney Leroy Banner. Earlier this week, U.S. fugitive Aldrich Scott was detained in Keokuk and handed over to U.S. law enforcement. He is now being held in custody, but Scott is wanted in connection with the disappearance and possible murder of his girlfriend, Carrie Allen, a resident of Nebraska. Allen remains missing tonight, and reports are that Scott is facing a warrant for kidnapping. The American fugitive and former member of the military has been living on Key Caulker for about 3 weeks and had been employed at Google Grill. It was Chef Shelton Fuentes who reported him to police. Today, Minister of Home Affairs Karim Musa spoke of the incident and police's investigation into it.
The good news is that the fugitive has been caught and he will be extradited to his home country in the United States. So I think that's a good thing. And of course, we want to thank the local individual who actually turned in the fugitive. And so that's good news for us.
Like an investigation be carried out to see like his whereabouts, where he was on the village, you know, because like, I mean, this was an accused murderer staying here for the past 3 weeks with no one having any knowledge of who his actual identity was.
Yeah, I am certain that the police will not go based on the individual's sole account whatsoever. I'm sure that he has a part in giving his statement, but that is not the sole part of the investigation. Obviously, the police is going to go further in depth in that investigation to see, like you said, how he entered the country, where he was staying on the island, that type of thing. So I don't in any way think that that is the end of it whatsoever. Once he was detained and information came from the United States, then obviously there is an investigation that takes place after that.
Has Cabinet reversed any policy as it relates to Haitian nationals being permitted to enter Belize? While it is something that is on the radar for policymakers, today during an interview with Minister Karim Musa, he says that a decision has not yet been made on that issue.
In terms of the Haitians coming into Belize, yes, I think that is an issue that we are going to be looking at, but no decision has been made in terms of the visa requirements or anything like that, but it's definitely something that is on the radar.
Today, the Network Internacional de Mujeres Empresarias, or in English, the International Network of Women in Business, was officially launched in Belize City. Aside from increasing its visibility through the launch, the organization took the opportunity to recruit female entrepreneurs who are interested in networking opportunities with other Belizean-owned companies, as well as entrepreneurs in Guatemala and beyond. NIME wants to provide support for entrepreneurs to build capacity and pop-up sessions to promote businesses. The Media Corps was there for the launch, and News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
The International Network of Women in Business, Belize, Guatemala, was formally registered back in September with the goal to create a mechanism that will allow women in both countries to network and support business growth via a female-led entity. The president is Katia Montenegro Mejor, who says that the work started years ago.
The work started years and years ago. I was a working mom, like many of the women in there. NIME is exactly that. NIME is not myself. NIME is the ladies that are in there, you know, with the vision to also empower other women. It started as a, you know, that little tingling that is in your head saying, you know, you need to do something else. You need to empower more women. So even though the association became formal 2 months ago, we started working years ago, connecting with people, finding the right persons, aligning with women that have the same vision and passion.
The first ever binational women alliance between Belize and Guatemala is looking beyond the territorial dispute and focused on breaking the barriers faced by female entrepreneurs in micro and small enterprises in the formal and informal economy, and tapping into larger markets.
We are very, very honored to have the support of businesswomen from the entire region, not only Guatemala in this case for the association. So we have 8 countries and in addition Dominican Republic coming together to support women. So what objectives we want to achieve with NIME is to be part of the region, to create more opportunities for growth, empowerment, and definitely for societal change. We want to be actors that contribute to the community and improvement of Belize as well.
On display were a number of Belizean-made products ready to be marketed beyond our borders. Today, a number of businesswomen were presented with membership certificates. Also in attendance was Minister of New Growth Industries Karim Musa, who says that the government has to support initiatives like these, including opening doors for female entrepreneurs to access financing.
These women have done something extremely innovative and creative, and passionately so. They've actually formed an association of all very talented, brilliant, and like I said, passionate women who have a unique skill in whatever craft that they're doing or coming up with, and they don't want to just limit that to Belize. As you know, we have a very small population, and so they're breaking boundaries and going across borders, not just to Guatemala, but looking beyond, expanding their tentacles across the world. As Minister of New Growth, I have to do my part. I have to stand beside them to help them, whether it's establish incentives and policies that could help them to get their products outside, to make sure that they have representation on trade committees, because as you know, whenever the trade committees between countries, bilateral trade committees come together, it's always to discuss the big products, but we're not looking at these very unique products that our women are producing. And so getting their products outside of Belize is absolutely essential. And of course, networking with banks like the DFC, we made that connection as well to say this is something that we want the DFC to invest in our women, like I said, who have come up with amazing products.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
When we return, San Antonio Village launches refurbished library.
What's wrong? It's him. He hit me again. Oh my gosh. This time it was worse. He slammed my face in the wall and threatened to kill me. If you or someone you know is experiencing family violence, call 0800 A Way Out. Or you can text or WhatsApp to 672-9628.
My lights, yeah. Go to my lights, go to my lights. You gotta go to my lights, yeah. I wanna shine, 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 shine. I hit my lights cause that's my plan, 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 plan. My lights have your favorite brand, 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 brand. Just come with nothing in your hands, 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 hands. My lights, and it goes on and on and on. It goes on and on and on, yeah. I wanna celebrate with my lights. Sing yeah, yo, baby, let's go. My lights, I wanna celebrate with my lights. Sing yeah, yo, baby, let's go. We going to the stores, but we gon' do right. We gon' light a life, only with my light. We going to the stores, but we gon' do right. We gon' light a life, only with my light.
I will be there. Thank you so much.
Why are you so excited?
Let me tell you a secret. I just got off the phone with Santa.
Hi, Santa. For Christmas, I want a pea shooter, a football. iPhone and a makeup for Christmas.
Oh, come on. 1 second.
We just learned that Santa's phone number has just been revealed. The number is 227-7132.
I'm sorry, Dad. I shared Santa's phone number.
It's that time of the year. when all that stands between you and all of this is...
Give me 5. Give me 5. Give me 5.
That's all it takes. Get your coupons at Channel 5 and Coney Drive and Channel 5's website. Then, starting Monday, December 5th, keep those phones close and tune in to Channel 5 at 8 p.m. as we start our nightly giveaways until Friday, December 9th. Remember, when the phone rings, don't say
hello.
Say, give me 5.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
San Antonio Village in the Cayo district has a newly refurbished library. The library was officially opened at an event today in the village where all those involved in the project were present. We heard from a couple community leaders who shared about the benefits of this library to residents.
This occasion today is very outstanding for the history of San Antonio. We've had our libraries in way many years ago in San Antonio, but slowly it had been, I would say, diminishing. But a group came together, spearheaded by Miss Monica Hastings, who is a resident of the village, came to live in the village, and she's been driving the energy into the group to bring back this learning center, as she calls it. And it's very, for me, it is very key because it is open, especially to the young people. When we go in there, you can see the furnitures. It caters for even the small ones that are in preschool. So we want to work along with the committee so that we can improve and we can add more to increase the learning for our children in the village.
The collaboration we have here in the village is that the community is together working to this, and thanks to Miss Monica Sadel, she was the one that brought this, the spirit to bring back the library again to life, because in the past it was like abandoned. So about 2 years ago she started with this project, and finally, thanks to her, that through her we got the help. I know she worked very hard for it, and also this is going to benefit all the students, not only students but also the as aged people as myself, because whenever we have to take times like to come out and read. Sometimes if we just stick at home, sometimes we just stick too much in the work. We need to concentrate and relax our mind on thinking.
For some time, there have been two associations representing real estate brokers in Belize. The Association of Real Estate Brokers of Belize and the Belize National Association of Real Estate will become one association. The members of both organizations agreed that the association should have one voice since their missions align. As a result, both associations have taken first steps to become one real estate association in Belize. On Wednesday, AREB and BNR signed a memorandum of understanding which sets out the responsibilities of each committee within the associations in carrying out a successful transition into one formal and democratic body. Here is more from that signing.
It's a big step in our industry, right? It shows an evolution in our industry. It shows that the industry or real estate business has matured to a new step and has seen the value in having a united voice. We've seen how important this industry has been to the entire country, right? Especially during hard times, what we experienced during COVID. So on the tailwinds of that, I think the number of professionals that have risen all across this country has been recognized by government and has been recognized by the public sector and has been, more importantly, recognized amongst ourselves, each other. And so this MOU, Memorandum of Understanding between our two associations, and it lays the groundwork for us coming together as one association.
Now that we're one, we're actually very happy to pursue a number of other initiatives that have been on the back burner for quite some time but have been in development, stuff that we've both been working on, but now we're putting our resources together to basically make it the best it can be. And we're looking at things like passing of the real estate bill, and we're here with the EDC for that reason. They've been so great to facilitate this. They're behind it, and this will really just in the end result in basically a higher standard for all our professionals in the industry. We're also looking at an MLS very soon. That's something that our friends over at Arab have been working hard on, and we will be also helping them with this to roll out to our members. And also, we're looking very seriously and very soon at offering classes for people who want to get into the industry and those who want to continue their education and continue raising their level.
The Economic Development Council and the Office of the Prime Minister is here to assist you in any way. We have been talking about the real estate bill, and now it's even more in the forefront that you're working together on it. That and any other initiatives that you may have, I think it's very important for the business sector, for economic activity, and for all other reasons that we need to ensure from the Office of the Prime Minister standpoint and from the Economic Development Council that we support you in every other initiative that you may have.
The hunting season for gymnota is closed from December 1st to May 31st. During this period, no one is permitted to have in their possession gymnot carcasses, nor is anyone allowed to hunt these animals since it is the time when they reproduce. Deputy Chief Forest Officer John Pinello Jr. says while it is difficult for an under-resourced forest department to patrol the rural areas, there are patrols and awareness campaigns that are done.
We rely heavily on calls and reports from the public, from concerned citizens, from NGOs, from the police, and from other law enforcement agencies who might intercept people with possible illegal animals or illegal meat. So that's the first part. Like I said, we can't police the entire country, so we depend heavily on reports, and we do get a lot of reports. We get a lot of reports of restaurants selling gymnot meat, of people going to sell gymnot meat, of police stopping people on the road and with meats in their buckets. So that's how we react. Method is our public awareness campaign. You can hear it on the radio. It's on the Facebook page of Forestry Department or Forest Department. So we do a lot of publicity so that people are aware.
Pinello says there are steep penalties if people are caught with the carcasses of these wild animals in their possession. He added that it doesn't matter whether the animal is taken for private or commercial use. It is still an offense to kill them at this time.
Offenses carry a fine of up to $10,000 or 1 year imprisonment. So if they catch you with 1 or with 10, you still pay the $10,000. You can't pay up to $10,000.
And it doesn't matter if you catch the animal for your own use or for sale?
It doesn't matter. Slow season is slow season. Well, it's the same thing with fisheries. The same situation with fisheries.
Last evening, we reported that the Ministry of Agriculture was importing a new species of bees from Israel for honey production. The ministry's national coordinator for beekeeping, Miguel Huertas, explained that this follows the expressed interest from a number of people in learning how to establish colonies of bees and to benefit from it as a honey-producing business.
They want to introduce to high schools or primary schools, which kids can be more aware and have the hands-on experience of what beekeeping is actually about. It is an observation hive where the person, the kid or the farmer can get close to the colony, and by just opening a compartment, they can see directly what is inside. They can see the brood chamber, they can see the honey, they can see the bees actually working in depositing the honey or the nectar into the colony. We cannot just give any colony to any school, or because there is in like procedures or what to establish an apiary. We know that that bees are very defensive, and if a school have one, it should be far away from where kids are, where farm is located, or just a quite distance and a barrier, so that they be safe and they will not affect anyone while the bees are pollinating or doing what they do best.
Just ahead, black cake and traditional confectionaries for diabetics.
Hola, disculpa por no llegar anoche. Lo siento. He estado hace tiempo con ganas de decirte algo. Últimamente estoy lidiando con mis problemas de salud mental.
I think if there was no stigma around mental health, I'd be more open about what I'm going through on the inside. And I don't know, maybe I'd find that other people in my life are actually going through the same thing.
Há alguns anos, comecei a contar para outras pessoas sobre minha ansiedade. Isso me ajudou a descobrir ótimas formas de como lidar com ela.
Soy muy sociable. Creo que si hablara sobre mis problemas de la salud mental, simplemente no lo creerían. Por eso no hablo de ello.
Me preocupa que si la gente se enterara de mi salud mental, pensarán que soy débil. Por eso me aislé. Pero creo que voy a cambiar esto.
Belize, Dara Cyber Home Theatre presents a tribute to the late great Otis Redding on Saturday, December 10th, 2022. It's an all-white affair and dance, live music by Mr. Mellow Madness Metro, live DVD performance of Otis Redding on the big screen.
Think about it, baby. Listen, you really ought to think about it.
Bring out the entire family to the Ex-Servicemen League on 158 Newtown Barracks on Saturday, December 10th, 2022 from 8 p.m. until. Entrance is only $10.
I'll let nothing separate us.
How are we to measure the success of our lives? For many, an ordinary life should have the following: a job, a house, enough money to buy a new car. But what if we threw out the ordinary? What could escaping ordinary at our jobs do? How about for our marriages? What if I told you we could all be escaping ordinary? Join us as we begin our new series.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart. It's that time of the year when all that stands between you and all of this is...
Give me 5. Give me 5. Give me 5.
That's all it takes. Get your coupons at Channel 5 and Coney Drive and Channel 5's website. Then, starting Monday, December 5th, keep those phones close and tune in to Channel 5 at 8 p.m. as we start our nightly giveaways until Friday, December 9th. Remember, when the phone rings, don't say
hello.
Say, give me 5.
After a rough week of school, Jake and his friends decide to treat themselves to frozen coffee. And since they don't have cash on them, they decide to use eCash. With eCash's geolocation feature, Jake can easily find the nearest coffee spot. With eCash's built-in option to split bills, Jake can pay the bill and his friends can reimburse their portion of the bill. Jake scans the merchant's code and confirms payment. Jake then views his transaction history and taps on the transaction recently made, then taps the split the bill button where he selects the evenly option to evenly split the bill. The application splits the bill automatically. His friends receive and accept the request. Geolocation and splitting the bill via eCash makes Jake enjoy his digital lifestyle.
This week, we showed you the step-by-step process of making traditional Belizean Christmas sweets that you can get ahead of this holiday season. It's a picture-perfect Belizean Christmas, but not necessarily ideal for diabetics. That's until Sabrina Daly went searching for someone who can put a unique spin on traditional Belizean sweets just for persons with dietary restrictions. This week's On the Bright Side is for diabetics. But as she found out, even she could not tell the difference.
It definitely tastes like rum cocoa.
Would you know?
I would not. It tastes like it tastes, it's not completely very sweet, but it's also still sweet. Like you could taste the sweetness, but I would not know that it's Splenda.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part right there.
Yes.
You would not know that it's Splenda.
We went in search of options this holiday season for persons bound by dietary restrictions.
And we're making white cake.
This is white cake.
Okay.
Stephanie Crawford is a chef at the U.S. Embassy and has challenged herself in the field over the years by offering unique spins on certain meals by substituting ingredients.
These people need to have a life just like everybody else, and they would always feel out of place because they don't have certain things. So I made it an effort to educate myself, to do my research so that I would be able to perform these recipes at these resorts. If your sugar is really, really bad, like we really have the ones that spike with anything, you would not use the white flour. Best you use whole wheat flour.
Okay. And this is
that's the Splenda.
Oh, Splenda.
Her latest cookbook, Keith Friendly, was named after Chargé d'Affaires Keith Gilgs. The catchphrase used in the kitchen was brought about as a signal of freedom of consumption due to his dietary restriction.
He was diabetic, and I created more recipes with him. At the resorts, I could have 5 or 10, and I could rotate it because these people come and go. Mm-hmm. With him, I was there every day, and I can't give him the same dessert every day. So I became more into it, and he was accepting, and he motivated me as well because he was willing to be what you call my guinea pig to try my new recipes, and I made it known it was my first time when it was my first time, and we did it together. Some of them were 3-4 times until I got it right. That's how I made this book, and the book is called Keith Friendly because that was the slogan we used in the house when we had guests over.
Dietary plans made for others are also something that Crawford later incorporated because of her own medical condition. In a little over a year, the results speak for themselves.
I reached 334 pounds. which was scary for me. I got frightened. I even cried because I've never had that even when I was pregnant. So I was really, really scared, and the doctor told me it's nothing you do, it's the medication and the sickness, but you need to go on low carb. And I said, you know what, I have to follow my own diet that I'm doing for others, I'll do it for myself. And from last year, July to now, I've lost 104 pounds. This is the mixed fruit.
Crawford encourages even non-diabetics to consider their sugar intake and include healthier portions and greens in their meals. Even if you are not diabetic, your choices where food consumption is concerned can save you later in life.
Now we're moving on to the rompopo, the diabetic version. If you're diabetic, if you're not diabetic, if you want to lose weight, it will still work. If you have a family member who is diabetic, like your, one of your parents, that means it's in your genes. Like what we say, it's in your genes. There's a possibility after a certain age it can come. So it's best we start the diet before. When it comes to the sweets, it's best you go off from the sugar, and because you know sugar related to cancer, it spikes a lot of different disease besides diabetes. So it's a healthy way, and it's a way of looking at a better life, a healthier life for yourself, for your family, because when one person is sick, it affects the entire family. So that's my advice to everybody. I did it, and I will not come on here and say it was easy, but I'm still doing it. It's a life change.
And for sweet lovers who believe that taking on the diet change would be restricting of the sweets they've come to love and enjoy, Chef Crawford has proven us wrong. Her take on the Belizean black fruit cake and white cake left us with our own share to take home.
Look at that, all the fruits in there. This is good. Oh my gosh.
Looking on the bright side, I'm Sabrina Daly.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Annalyn Apollonia. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.